God often works his greatest works when things are in their darkest hour. I know you think God did his greatest work when you saw the breakthrough, and when the answer came, and when the lump shrunk, and when the mountain moved, and when the check came. But those are the after effects of what he did when you thought he wasn't doing anything at all.
So TD Jakes just delivered a masterclass on generational trauma that validates what psychologists have been documenting for decades. Research shows trauma literally alters DNA expression across generations. What he calls being born into a shift is scientifically measurable. This isn't just theology, it's therapeutic breakthrough disguised as sermon.
If I were to use a subject, my subject would be the night shift. Now, this may not be for everybody. It's just for people that been feeling like they're on the verge of a shift, and a shift creates turbulence and mayhem and confusion and a little disorder, but you can tell that God is at work doing something, and the Lord wanted me to tell you that he's going to work. He's going to work the night shift.
This hits differently in 2026. Young Americans inherited political polarization, climate debt, and economic systems their parents couldn't fix. But here's the key. Acknowledging inherited problems isn't victimhood, it's strategic. When you understand the battlefield you inherited, you can finally fight the right war and win it.
At midnight, Paul and Silas prayed, and God sent angels to shake the prison, and the prison doors came open. Or Peter, who was locked up in the inner sanctum of the jail, was led out, not in the morning, but in the middle of the night. Look at somebody, say, I'm coming out at night. Or what about blind Bartimaeus when Jesus is on the way to the cross and Jesus stopped and healed him, and blind Bartimaeus was delivered? Oh, excuse me. I know you're saying, oh, Bishop, you got confused. Bartimaeus got healed in the daytime. Yeah, it was daytime to the disciples. But it was nighttime.
History proves this. Google and Facebook launched during the 2008 recession. The American Revolution succeeded during Britain's darkest economic period. Even scientifically, our brains actually develop stronger neural pathways under stress. What feels like your breaking point is often your breakthrough point. The data supports his theology here.
Is there anybody in here who understands what it's like to have your own personal night while other people are having day? It creates a different dynamic in the worship service because they're half praising God because it's daytime, but you screaming out Jesus because you're having your own personal night. Look at your neighbor and say, I know what time it is for me. You might not know what time it is for me, but I know what time it is for me. Just because you got daylight don't mean I have daylight. Just because your rent's paid doesn't mean mine is paid. Just because your marriage is going well doesn't mean mine is going well. Every now and then God allows us to have a personal night.
This destroys social media mythology perfectly. Instagram shows everyone else's highlight reel while you're living your real struggle. Current inflation means neighbors with identical jobs have vastly different financial realities based on when they bought homes or inherited debt. Personal seasons don't sync with collective seasons. That's profound pastoral wisdom.
Somebody say at night, at night, at night, at night, at night, at night. The bridegroom comes at night. The bridegroom comes at night. Behold, he comes. That's why you got to keep your lamp trimmed and burning, because he comes at night. The creation started at night, and God said, let there be light, and there was light, and it was good. Eve was created at night. Adam was put into a deep sleep, and God pulled Eve out of him in the middle of the night. Abraham entered into covenant with God at night, and while he was asleep, God turned into a smoking furnace and a burning lamp and started walking in the midst of his people, because God is working at night.
This explains why immigrant children often outperform their parents academically, or why civil rights sacrifices created opportunities their children could claim. Current research on epigenetics shows that parental struggle literally programs children for resilience. Pain doesn't just produce people. It produces prepared people with inherited strength.
Your story doesn't begin with you, neither does your struggle. Your story and your struggle began before you were born. So it would be inappropriate for me to just leap over Hannah and talk about Samuel, because if there were no Hannah, there wouldn't be no Samuel. And Samuel is born out of Hannah's night, out of Hannah's barrenness, out of her dark season, out of her pain, out of her tumultuous thirst to have something that she couldn't have. That's how Samuel was born in the first place.
This distinction is crucial for 2026. Priests maintain existing systems. Prophets disrupt them for transformation. We desperately need prophetic voices in politics, business, and even church structures that prioritize maintenance over mission. When God forces prophets into priestly institutions, expect divine disruption of the status quo.
This has been going on before you have even got here. And you were set up, some of you were set up in such a way that you would have predispositions, that you are more needy than other people, more thirsty than other people, more sensitive than other people, more angry than other people. That's why your neck goes to popping. You flip out on people real fast. You don't even understand. You were set in a situation that lends itself to hostility, because you go off on people in your life now over things that happened back then. It's all continuous. It's a cycle. It's a setup. You're just one shift in the cycle of what God is doing. But the Lord told me to tell you, He's going to work on your shift.
This contradicts prosperity theology beautifully. Airbnb, WhatsApp, and Venmo all launched during the 2008-2009 recession. Current economic uncertainty could be incubating your breakthrough right now. Weakness on the surface often conceals strength developing underneath. Your personal recession might be funding your personal renaissance.
He has predispositioned him in such a way that he is able to survive in environments that other people wouldn't be able to survive in, because he was born in. His normal is different from other people's normal. His predisposition is different from other people's normal. Some people couldn't survive in the atmosphere that he grew in, but since he came out of a barren womb and he stepped into a barren temple, he was used to surviving in isolation and barrenness. It didn't bother him that Eli had no vision. It didn't bother him that Hophni and Phinehas were whoring all over the church. It didn't bother him because he was used to barrenness, nor did it affect him because he was able to withstand his environment, seeing as he was born in what he has to deal with.
This perfectly captures our generational divide. Younger workers hear AI opportunities while older leaders fear job displacement. Young people see climate solutions while older generations see economic threats. Different generations literally process the same information through different neural frameworks. Rejection often reflects perception gaps, not personal inadequacy.
In the night shift, the light shimmers. Night doesn't mean total blackout. It says, and ere the lamp of God went out. Now, you all were raised with electric lights, and I was too. But when I went to my grandmother's house, they would have candle lights and oil lamps. And when the lamps were going out, as they start to go out, they flicker. Flickering. The night has shimmering light, moments of illumination, glimpses, shadows, moments of revelation, moments of insight. You can't see it clearly because it's shimmering, but you've caught glimpses.
Modern parents face unprecedented anxiety. School shootings, social media dangers, political instability. But current struggles often prepare the next generation for challenges we can't even see yet. Your parenting failures might be building resilience muscles your children will desperately need. Strategic thinking, not just survival mode.
Wait. Let me give you this prophecy. The Lord said to Samuel, I'm going to do things through you that causes both ears of them that hear it to tingle. I am going to use you like no other prophet has ever been used in the scriptures. I'm going to use you in life. I'm going to use you after your life. I'm going to use you to anoint kings. I'm going to bring you before princes. I'm going to bring you into positions of power. And if I don't know if you got faith enough to believe it. And God said all of that when Samuel had not yet known the Lord. Now, this is not just about churches.
At 67, he's earned this credibility through decades of ministry success and personal trials. His point stands. Dysfunction doesn't disqualify divine purpose. It often qualifies it. In 2026, when everything feels broken, staying faithful in dysfunctional systems might be exactly how God births breakthrough through you.
It is to you, it is to your situation, to your generations. We are not taught enough in this country about generational blessings. We're not taught about family. We get our lessons about family from TV. That stuff ain't real. I do TV, that's scripts. Real family is hard. Real family is tough, and it hurts. And it'll break your heart, and it'll keep you up at night, and you ain't never finished. Real family is hard work. That stuff you see on TV is something somebody wrote.
Social media has destroyed realistic relationship expectations with curated family content and romance movies. Real families fight, disappoint, require forgiveness, and work through generational dysfunction together. The unrealistic standards from media create relationship failure before families even begin. Reality requires grace, not performance.
Stop running from the dysfunction. Samuel was born in dysfunction. His ministry started in dysfunction. No dysfunction can stop God from functioning. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? I ain't got no reason to lie to you. I'm 65 years old. I can slide on in on a banana peel. I could sell enough hot bologna to get in from here. I'm telling you what I know. Do not give up on your seed. Even when they give up on you. Even when they talk out of their head. Even when you don't get the reaction and the validation that you deserve and that you think you got coming. Stay in your place.
At 65, he's earned the right to speak this truth without sugarcoating. Notice he could slide on a banana peel. He's financially secure, reputation established, legacy set. When someone with nothing left to prove tells you to stay in dysfunctional places because God uses dysfunction, that's hard-won wisdom worth receiving.